This is Jojo Mack, and I always tune into the SBRB radio podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. If you love a good conversation, you should too. Check it out.
I'm Janiceness, and I always tune in to the SPRB radio podcast with General Culture and Sister Sharon Mango. Yo, you don't have to take my word for it. Just tune in and catch the vibration. Yeah, this one is knockings.
Paulette Williams from Out of Many Smile Jamaica Charity. I endorse 10 Star General and Sharon Mango from SPRB Radio Podcast. Check them out. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. Authentic music and heartfelt love. Check them out.
This is DJ Maestro out of London, and I fully endorse SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Check them out. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Yes, this is Jerry Harris. I want to fully endorse the SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. You won't be disappointed. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Sister Audrey, and I fully endorse SPRB Radio with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Check it out.
Hey, this is Tony Anthony out of Canada, and I definitely endorse SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Yeah, man, I definitely endorse SPRB Radio Podcast with a 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Check them out, all right? Cool.
Hi, I'm Nana Genesis, and I fully endorse SPRB Radio with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Check it out.
Greetings, I'm Daniel Joseph, and I always tune into SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Check it out.
Yo, greetings people, my name Captain Blaze out of Nigeria, Lagos. Me fully endorsing the SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Boom! Don't touch the dial. Stay tuned. Tune.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Keisha Martin, fully endorsing SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. You already know it's a whole entire vibe. And I mean say, everybody just rock and come in, cause we are jamming at the housing scheme. Bring your queen and leave your machine, cause up here go the vibes from the scene. In rock steady, baby, rock steady. Right over to SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General and Sharon Mango. Keisha Martin says so. Fully endorsed.
Yes, bless. It is thy turbulence to the future from the Tread Almighty Camp. And I fully endorse SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 Star General. I'm going to talk about Sharon Mango. Check it out. Trust you won't be disappointed. I could have been one of the most notorious ladies. I'm still loving you, even though you're gone. Interesting.
This is The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Hello everyone, I am Pistol and this is The Buzz. Dancehall gospel superstar Papa San is all smiles as his video for the single Love About You has been added to the rotation of international video stations, including VH1 Soul and MTV Jams. Papa San said, quote, "This is the first time that my videos are hitting MTV as an independent gospel artist. When I was signed to gospel-centric Zamba music group, videos for songs such as Step on the Enemy appeared on BET Gospel a lot, but this feels different to get this international recognition as an independent artist." Papa San was signed to Gospel-Centric Records for a number of years before going on to become an independent gospel artist. Gospel-Centric was started as an independent label by Vicky Mack and Claude Latilade in 1993. The label rose to prominence in the 90s, largely on the runaway success of Kirk Franklin. When No Games was released in 2008, singer Sarani believed it would have connected with music lovers. 14 years later, it continues to resonate with new audiences as it was certified platinum by the British phonographic industry. Recently, the song exceeded sales of more than 600,000 units. No Games was a huge hit locally. It also topped charts regionally and rose to number 53 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart, dated January 3rd, 2009. To date, it is Sarani's signature crossover hit. Sarani is pleased about the song's latest certification. Embattled dancehall DJ Squash took to Instagram to address rumors that he had been shot in an incident in Florida. Squash, who currently resides in the Sunshine State, refers to himself as Six Boss. The DJ also posted a series of photos with the caption, "Who God bless, no man curse." Recently in Lauderhill, Florida, 2 people were shot and killed in a shootout. According to the police, a double homicide reportedly took place at the Blueberry Hill condos located off Northwest 56th Avenue near Oakland Park Boulevard on the night of October 19th. Officers were called to the 800 block of Blueberry Court shortly after 9 p.m. When they arrived, they found the victims who had been shot. Both men died at the scene, according to police. A third man was allegedly injured in the same incident and was admitted to HCA Florida Woodmont Hospital in Tamarack in critical condition. The police have not confirmed if the person was involved in the shooting. Following the shooting, social media lit up with claims that Squash had been shot in the incident. For all those who have been wondering whether Lisa Hyper's baptism was real and if she has made a conscious decision to turn her back on sin and accept Christ as her savior, her answer is a resounding yes. The dancehall diva, whose followers have cheekily rechristened her Sister Hyper, a name she actually likes, said she takes comfort in that she has given her life to the Lord. Lisa has come under fire from persons who accuse her of playing with God because she has continued to post her racy dancehall songs and images of herself showing lots of flesh. The visuals for No Like People sees Lisa all dolled up and coming out strong in full dancehall mode, even showing off her thong. Basie, former member of dancehall quartet TOK, introduced his latest solo project, King Bass, to appreciative guests attending Super Heavy Wednesdays at Janga's Sound Bar and Grill recently. However, the evening's highlight was when the headliner was joined on stage by former bandmates Craig T and Alex to perform their wildly popular hit songs. Released June 3rd, 2022, the 17-track King Bass is on the Bomb Rush Records imprint. Formed in 1996, TOK comprised Alistair Alex Makala, Rashawn Basie Clark, Craig T. Thompson, and Avier Davidson, known as Flex. Dancehall artist Kiprich has voiced his strong condemnation of acts of violence against women. The entertainer, who is getting set to release a new single called Women Protest, said he's disgusted by attacks, particularly murders, on the fairer sex. He said, quote, "We have mothers, we have sisters. We don't know if they'll reach home after leaving out. It is painful. Believe me, it is too much now." End quote. More than 1,250 people have been murdered in Jamaica since the start of the year. The vast majority of murder victims are men. The pending release of Women Protest follows the recent murder of 2 high-profile females, Donnelly Donaldson and Anika Townsend, known as Slickiana. I am Pistol, and that, my friends, was The Buzz.
That was The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Now here's a song from our sponsor, Jojo Mac.
Gripped by fear of something we know nothing about. It's in the air and we can't tell its whereabouts. Something so strong it respects no one. It will take a life or change us for life. We're fighting the invisible. This could be possible. It's raining down on us, but we can't give up. Though we can see it, we can surely feel it. Invisible. If we can't feel it, but we can see it. No, we can't see it. Bit by bit, somehow we'll get through it. Hit by hit, together we can beat it. It has love for no one. It will take us one by one. Lest we do everything that we can. We're finding love invisible. Who thought this could be possible? It's raining down on us, but we can't give up. No, we can't see it. You surely feel it. Invisible. If we can't feel it, but we can't see it. No, we can't see it. We must protect each other every day. Oh, not just in times when we're afraid. Oh, we can't survive this alone. Oh, everyone must stand for their own. What will it take to make us all see that we can win with unity? We're fighting invisible. Who thought this could be possible? It's raining down on us, but we can't give up. No, we can't see it. Sure to feel it. We're fighting invisible. Who thought this could be?
Jojo Mike.
It's raining down.
She's our sponsor. And she supplies us with the news, also known as Pistol Buzz.
If we can't feel it, we can't see it. No, we can't see it.
Yeah, man, this is Ray Vaughn, and I fully support SPRB Radio Podcast. Just check it.
Wait, who that?
Yeah, man, this is Ray Vaughn, and I fully support SPRB Radio Podcast. Just check it.
What a thing.
Bang! Never soul from a tribe of Shaka Soul, Ethiopia, Africa, when I laugh, when I linger, when I play, in that time you say it. Original Raising Awareness show, we are talking about 10-star General, Yaman, Sharon, Mango. Bang, bang, turbulence to the future. Will you like King Selassie? Rastafari, keep it accurate and royal.
Yes.
We have to pinch ourselves. We had that man in the building yesterday. Not true, Sharon?
Yeah, we did. Not true. That's my friend. That's my new friend, too. That's my best friend now.
Sharon Bentley.
Yes, 10-star.
Introduce yourself. And who do we have in the building, Miss Sharon Bentley?
Yes, so I'm Sharon Bentley Pike from Germany. Owner of 5 Space Freedom, music promotion, and management for SPRB Radio Podcast. Welcome, everyone. Daddy Maestro, Erlene, Jenny J. Oh, Webster. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Wendy Lopez, enough blessings. Welcome, dear. Welcome.
Oh, we have Beverly Notes in the building.
Oh, Beverly Notes. She just came in. Beverly, enough love, sis. Welcome.
Beverly creeping. Enough love. Thank you to everyone in the building. We have somebody else coming. Jenny J is coming in again to show. Maybe 2 devices. Thank you, Sharon Bentley, for that. And how are you doing, Miss Mango?
I'm good. Like me say, I'm tired, but me had party last night, but me good. Me good.
You become a party animal of late, and your brother hit the big C60.
Yes, he did. So it was definitely a celebration. It was really beautiful to see family, to see people coming from, near and far, his colleagues. It was lovely. It was really turned out to be a lovely. Sound system was in effect, you know what I'm saying? Royal Blend Production sound system within the house.
Right. So I'm going to ask for Sharon Bentley to please keep an eye on anyone who unmutes, to please just mute anybody who unmutes other than the people who are in the matrix, which is
no problem.
Myself, Sharon Mango, and
Webster.
All right. So thank you for everyone for being here today. Today is about Webster, raising the awareness of Webster James Linton. He's in the building. He's been asking to come on this show for a long time. We're finally getting round to him, and we've come to Webster, who's been doing his thing on the circuit. I think you recently performed on Giants of Lovers Rock, right?
Yes, that's right.
Right. So you've been doing a great job there. And I saw a bit of you on that big, huge stage, and I'm like, cheese on bread. Watch Webster do him thing. You know, shining bright on stage. And we're going to get into your musical history. Not many people may have heard about who Webster is, because even after I took a long break from radio and decided to do these podcasts, all of a sudden I'm seeing the name Webster James Linton. Who is this guy? I've never heard of him before. Where does he pop up from? All of a sudden he springs out of nowhere. Who is Webster James Linton? I hear a lot of people asking. Now is your time to tell your story the way it needs to be told, right? So we are going to go into it with you. I have my beautiful co-host all the way down there in sunny New Jersey. You know,
Sunny today, actually,
Miss Mango, the only East Indian mango in New Jersey.
Well, this is true, you know, very true, my friend.
Mango, over to you.
Welcome to everybody in the room. I am Sharon Mango, representing SPRB Radio and Royal Blend Productions. And if you don't know about Royal Blend Productions, ask me about it later. Me will tell you what we have. See that? But welcome. We're so happy to have you here with us. Webster, again, on my end, I'm like, who? Webster what? So I have to check him out. Google him, check him out. Read the bio. I'm like, but wait. But remember now I'm in the US, so you know things will come to me late and all of that. But I was blown away because I was like, oh, yeah, make up a whole heap of nice. Who is this man? You know, I'm saying the vocal range, and I'm like, you have backed some amazing people. But again, we're gonna get into your history because I'm saying all of this to say, man, you made your stamp. You know what I'm saying? You're making noise and people are hearing you, and I commend you on that. So again, we're gonna get into the beginnings of Mr. Webster James Linton. We have to know about you, and let me help you to understand something. None of this is scripted. We are ourselves, right? We're here to give you your flowers. We're here to let people aware. We're making people aware of who you are and your journey, which is usually an inspiration to others. So when we ask you stuff, nothing say, oh, them too nosy. No, you are an inspiration to somebody and then to the next person. So that is the whole purpose of these conversations, just so you know what I mean? Because we gonna dig in, but we're good digging in, right? So you know, that you be aware of that. Yes, and so.
Yeah, so basically we try to inspire. Nobody's too big and nobody's too small for, to come on to this show. I always believe that if you want to see a change in the world, we have to be the change that we wish to see. So everybody gets a fair shake on this show, and it's about yourself. So we want to dig into your musical history and journey. I want to go as far back as when Webster was able to say "Google Gaga." Tell me back to, because I don't know your time, because I'm a 60s baby, right? So I come from a time where we had something called the gram. I'm pretty sure Miss Wendy Lopez knows about the gram. Oh yes, I'm with you on that. And on the gram, a lot of music was being played. Now, I don't know, your time was a different time and place. You know, during your childhood, what was you listening to on the radio? Were you the only musical person in your family? Take us back to the place where you were born, growing up, and how music became a part of your life.
So for me, I mean, I grew up, well, my mum was a very musical person. My mum was also a promoter back in the days as well. So I don't know if you know, like producers and artists like Jack Rubin. Jack Rubin is very good friends with my mum and my dad. So they used to put on events together back in the day, and it was very sold out. I mean, I grew up on, I lived in Jamaica with my grandparents as well, may I add. And when I was living in Jamaica, I didn't really know much about lovers rock until I came over here, because I came over England from the age of 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
It's only when I started to mingle with my aunties and my uncles, they were more into lovers rock, whereas my mum, for example, she was more into like dancehall, like the Josie Wales, and of course, like the traditional reggae, like the John Howe and all of that. Whereas my grandparents, specifically my granddad, God rest his soul, he was more into Barry White and all the soul music. Whereas my grandma, she was more into the John Holt, of course, the Pat Kellys, the Blue Beats, the ska, and all of that. So that's what I grew up on, and listening to that. Yeah, I had no choice. That was all I knew, and that was all I had to listen to.
So you had no choice. Like me growing up back in the day, my father would play people like Slim Smith and all the great names, and we couldn't say, "Can you play U-Roy?" Because U-Roy was the man of the moment, right? Can you play U-Roy? No, you had to listen to whatever our parents played. So I guess it's the same for you, right?
That's right. I remember one time I wanted to put on, was it a Barry White thing? And Grandma was listening to, she listened to John Holt, Stick By Me. And I remember I had to run and hide for the whole day. I was Grandma put on, and it was curtains. Because we was talking about it, and I reminded her about it. She said to me, "Webster, you're a total lie." I was like, "Grandma, I suddenly don't remember." But yeah.
Okay. So you were inspired by people like John Howard and all the greats and stuff.
Those are who inspired me, yes, and along with Aretha Franklin, who's also that's my idol right there. Aretha Franklin and Bobby Womack. Those are my artists, like, you know what I mean?
Right. And they are great artists in their own right. And sometimes even when I reflect back to the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I reflect back, where did my love for music come from? And we don't give honor enough to the parents, right? Because my father was, even though he was Nigerian and my mother was Jamaican, my mother did not like reggae music. She liked country and western, and my dad was the old reggae head, right? So my love for reggae music came from my father, right? Now, the thing is, I had no choice. I had to listen to what Papa wanted to play, especially on a Sunday. Sharon Mango, I'm pretty sure it was the same for you too.
It was the same way growing up there. It's like
you couldn't tell them you want to play a you rye or I rye or any kind of rye.
You know what? It was and it wasn't. We had such a love for music. So we were able to really play what we wanted, but make sure you throw in the little Jim Reeves for the Sunday morning service. Jim Reeves.
To my world.
Yeah.
Won't you come on in?
No, it's God with you. God be with you till we meet again.
Oh,
All
Jesus.
that. Was all of that played Sunday morning early. But you want
Jesus.
to put on you right. Put that on first, then you can put on whatever you want.
I think that music was boring though. I'm like, Jesus, I wish they would just change up the tempo. Dad, can't you just play your U-Roy? And you have to run for cover.
I grew to love it. Just like, but you know what? It works.
But now I do love it. Even I think I'm telling my age.
I respect it. But just like Webster saying, as much as you'd be like, all right, it influenced you in so many different ways. You know what I mean? You see the different diversities in vocal arrangements and how they deliver until you find your own. You know what I'm saying, Webster? And I think it groomed you before you knew what you were being groomed for.
Yes, indeed, indeed. I mean,
right? You respect it all afterwards. Like, why? Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's opening your mind now.
Yeah.
Once your mind is open to these different variations and music genres, you're just like, you find your way. And I think that's what happened for you. But anyway, we're at speed, fast. We want to know about how it all began for you. Yes. Go ahead.
Go on, Sharon. Go on, Sharon. You take over from here.
I am. You were brought up in the church, yeah?
Yes, I was.
Tell us about church. Cause your granny, make sure you go to church.
On a Sunday morning, when we used to go to church, when I was young, I was always into music, and not only just that, particularly gospel music, because my grandma played a lot of gospel music. Sunday without a fail, and I mean, I grew up on singers like Shirley Caesar. You know, the Caravans. So the Caravans performed with Shirley Caesar, Albertina Walker, and all those were the queens of gospel, the Mahalia Jackson. You know, then we had the Sam Cooke, and you know what I mean, and the Grace Thrillers as well. You know, the John Flemings, When His Wounded Hand Touched Mine, My Jesus Set Me Free.
Let's look at you. Daisy, you're too young to know about them people. What you know about them? You know. My ring softly, I'm like.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, going to church, and you know, there was a time, I think my grandma recalled, where I used to kind of run on the stage all the time, and I used to try and take the mic at the pastor's hand. And the pastor used to always kind of give the mic. When you give him the mic, like I used to kind of like utter a word, but I used to kind of be shy. I turn my face. But the pastor did say, you know, he's going to be into music very hard when he's older. And then look, here I am, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to sing the choir as well. And I done my first solo choir song. I think if I remember rightly, it was a song by Kurt Carr. I Almost Let Go. That was the song I sung in the school where I went to in Stony Hill. Yeah.
I went to Stony Hill in Jamaica, right?
That's where I lived, yeah.
Okay, so at some point you kind of left Jamaica and came to the UK.
Yeah.
Tell me about your mind frame when you come into the UK, you're leaving from a different territory, London.
From a warm climate. You're gonna let the hot sun coming out of cool England.
Yeah, so when I came over, for me, it was kind of like, you know, adjusting and what that have you, because like a lot of time, I mean, I had the Jamaican accent really bad. I mean, really strong. I mean, and you know, speaking, sometimes my brothers used to be like, sorry, what say it again? Say it slower, because I speak very fast as well. And then, you know, the accent is always something I'm like, what? You know what I mean? But yeah. So it was adjusting for me. And as I said, like, you know, I met up with my uncles and my aunties, and especially my aunties, they were more into like the lovers rock, whereas I didn't know anything about that. There was a different genre. You know, I just know reggae music. I didn't know that there was like, you know, British reggae and any of that. You know what I mean? And you know, I started to hear the Silly Game by Janet Kay and the, you know, the so on and the so on.
Okay, so lovers rock was something new to you coming into the UK. I guess What year roughly did you come into the UK?
So I came to the UK roughly, I think around 2008, 2007, I think it was.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about the Peter Honingale era. We're talking about John McLean, the man, the Paulette Tarja in the building.
Hey!
Yes! Yes, yes.
Hey, we got Paulette Tarja. I must say, she's also one of my biggest inspirations. I mean,
Me too.
when you talk about
Me
vocal
too.
range, I mean, when you talk about vocal range, I mean, this woman here, she's like I call it the Stephanie Mills of reggae. Like, you know, her voice.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Millions of reggae. I like that.
Yes.
Paulette Tarja in the building, bless up yourselves. Yeah, so we're talking about that era in time, and that was a beautiful era in time, especially for Lovers Rock, because it had evolved and it was still evolving, and greatness was coming. I mean, some of the best Lovers Rock, I mean, Jesus, maybe I'm biased, right? But every era was great for me, but that era, the 2000s, 1999 and so forth, was memorable.
Yes.
Yes.
Memorable. And we can't leave out the great Louisa Marks, who made an impact on the industry. I nearly, got to a place where, I was to work with Louise. Not most people know this, but I did, producing for a long time. And I came into contact with Louisa Marks, and we were supposed to work with her as she came from Gambia. And Jesus, only God knows what happened next. We just hear that she's no more. It's like, what? You know what I mean? So she lost her life. According to what we heard, it was food poisoning or some sort of poisoning from Gambia, but, I never got to work with Louisa Marks, but she was like the queen, as far as I was concerned, of Lovers Rock. Her presence on stage was electric. What do you know of Louisa Marks?
For me, I mean, growing up, she was one of the first Lovers Rock ladies I was actually introduced to, in terms of hearing my aunties them play 663 and Hello There and Caught You in a Lie. I mean, I never heard her version of Caught You in a Lie until when I came over here, because I knew the original one, the Derek Harriott version.
Right.
That's the one I grew up on. And
that's
as I said, when I heard, the Louisa Marks version, the Derek Harriott one, I kind of that was the one I wanted to hear. But I mean, for me, looking at the rare videos of her on stage, and it was as 10 Star said, electrifying. I mean, the vocal range and just everything, just wow, that was a talent and a gift together. It's a shame that she's no longer here no more. RIP to her, because for me, she was one of the best.
So when you look back at the Lovers Rock industry of where, I mean, you're coming into the UK and you're stepping into the Lovers Rock era, which is UK is renowned for Lovers Rock. And, you come to the UK, you're picking up on all these names. It's obvious that you've done your homework, because now you're telling me about all these miraculous people who are still here. Even Paulette Tarjo's in the building as well, and so forth. You're recognizing who is who. That is amazing in itself. So it shows that you now want to delve into an industry where you now want to make your impact, yet recognizing those who came before you, which I feel is very important.
It's commendable. It's
Or am I speaking out of line? What am I not saying?
No, you're 100% right. I mean, voices for me, because like I said, I listen to the Janet Kays and the Carol Thompsons, and I think they're great. But listen to singers like Paulette Tarja once again, and Winsome, and Joy Mack. I mean,
Yes.
those are ladies for me that kind of, help pave the way for my musical career. And then, don't get me started on the guys now, like guys like the Peter Honeygale, Don Campbell. I mean, those artists for me are the real, I'm not to swear, but the real thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The real thing, for true.
And
they are the real thing. They are.
Yeah.
I think another one, I don't want, not to get off topic, but on topic. Another one of the great vocalists was a Jean Adibambo.
Oh, yeah.
Jean Adibambo had a vocal range second to none. Second to none. She is part of that whole thing. I don't want her name to ever be forgotten. Jean
Can never be forgotten. Yeah, it can never be forgotten. She was a real one, and but her story is a whole new different topic, because every time I see footage of her, I see so much sadness, and it makes me ask 1,000 or want to ask 1,001 different questions. But I don't want this conversation to stray off topic because today is about Webster. So what did you learn coming to the UK? I'm suspecting you now know that music is something. When did you realize music was something you wanted to do? And what did you learn from those who came before you?
So for me, as I said, started singing from in church in Jamaica, and I came over here and I decided to continue to go to the same Pentecostal denominational church, which is New Testament church. I don't know if you guys know the New Testament, which I still go to there. I go to Wood Green. That was where I used to sing in the choir at the Wood Green Gospel Choir. And a few of the people that sing in the London Community Gospel Choir, the Bazami Choir, some of them are some of my church brothers and sisters that we, and I still work with them from up till this blessed day, but only like on special occasions, like reunions and that sort of stuff. But from what I've learned of the Lovers Rock legends that are still around today, you caught me in that one there, Tansa. You caught me.
Don't worry. I mean, like I said, these questions are very, very unscripted, and as artists, who are delving into, an arena, I just always feel it's very important for us to know who are some of the pillars that have been holding up the industry, because sometimes we sometimes forget, for one reason or the other, whatever that might be, but I truly believe that we need to acknowledge those who came before us. The mere fact that you were able to spell out some of those names, speaks volumes of your hunger to want to delve in. Where did your hunger come from? Why did you want to get into this arena? Those are one of the things that come to my mind. That is my next question to you. So
for me, like I said, back to the church again, I've worked with people like Carleen Davis, because she's been to my church a few times, as well as Lieutenant Stitchie, Junior Tucker. And I remember recall having a conversation with Carleen Davis and Lieutenant Stitchie at the time as well. Because those guys used to visit where I used to live in Broadwater Farm back in the day as well. And my dad goes by the name Spider. He's very well known as well.
And Spider.
Spider the Gold Teeth chef. He's a chef as well.
Spider in the building. Mrs. Spider in the building.
Wait,
DJ Spider.
Is that your dad? Did you say that was your dad?
No, not DJ Spider, but it's a DJ Spider. I believe
I was ready to.
But, yeah, so my dad, as I was saying, is originally from Broadwater Farm, North London, Tottenham, where I'm from. And, having a conversation with Lieutenant Stitchie and what that be. When I used to do the concerts, we used to call that Praise Night. every last Sunday of the month, we used to have like different artists coming in, whether it's from the US or from the Jamaica and whatnot. And he heard on the backing vocal harmonies on the stage, and I gave a little twist to the song, but it's like when he told the band to kind of like lower it down, because he said, I heard something, like turn it down, he did it, and I felt shame because it was me. And I kind of held my head down like that. And I felt kind of like all eyes on me. And, he was like, no, that was good. Guys, come on. And he was like, you stay right there, as he pointed at me like that. And after the service finished, and what the response said to me, like, I hope one day you decide to take this seriously, whether it's within gospel or whatever genre you choose to go into. And I kind of like took that on board. And yeah. And as I said, like, I tried to go to a lot of concerts. You asked what I learned from all like the legends of today, for example, like people like Paul Taja, like the way they conduct themselves on stage, the way they handle the stage, they're in control of the crowd, in other words, if you know what I mean. I've, learned how to kind of like, and I'm still learning, I had to master my craft on stage, and what, because like I said, it's the first time I've done Giants Lovers Rock, and I was really nervous. Do you know what I mean? So, going to a lot of concerts are the reason why I go to a lot of concerts to watch people like, Paul Taj and how they kind of like go on the stage. So I kind of like learn from that and kind of like, use that.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Sharon, over to you, because, I'm a mic hugger.
Right. So now Lieutenant Stitchy is telling you, like, take it serious. And then, so from there, what set it off for you? Like, what was your first show you did where you're just like, I'm going to do me today. People are going to know about me. What was that show?
The first show I actually did was with, so I don't know if you know a producer called Bill Campbell from World Sound Studios. So they worked with the likes of like Ginger Williams and Judy Boucher and
yes.
Bill Campbell goes way back.
Yeah.
Not just way back.
So for me, I was kind of lucky because as I said, I'm from Tottenham, and the brother Pete Campbell is also a very good friend of mine. I kind of like grew up with his son, JJ, and it was kind of like JJ that kind of like brought me around to his dad's house, and we done a few sessions at the studio. It was at the back of Tottenham Bruce Grove. I can't remember the name of it, but anyways, it was at the back of Tottenham, and we was just messing around, and I was singing along, and he said to me, I'm having a show down at Sunday. I think it was in Birmingham. I'm not sure where it was in, but it was a very long time ago this was. And if I remember rightly, Yvonne Curtis was on the bill. There was Yvonne Curtis. There was also the guy, the guy that passed away, and he sounds like Gregory Isaac. Sidney Ranks was on the bill. And yeah, that's where it all started for me there. And I continued to kind of like, learn to write songs and all that sort of stuff. And
tell me about the show though. How did you feel doing that show? You did that was your first show?
First show.
Your first show, you get up on stage, you'd be like, all right, this is a different arena now. What was your feeling?
My feeling was that I was very nervous. As I said, I was shy, and my grandmother, she's one of my biggest supporters. In terms of my music, and my family support, but my grandma is my biggest supporter, the truth be told. And she was there, and she gave me that look, like to say, don't embarrass me, because I looked at her and yes, and it was like, I was like, oh my god, I was literally at the back, I was shaking like that. And I looked in the crowd, and grandma gave me the straight face, like, she's like when I saw that face, I knew what time it was. And yeah, I did it. I did her proud as well, and it was a very good turnout. And from that day forward up until now, I still have the link with Pete Campbell, and we're actually in conversation about trying to do something next year. But I know he's got a lot on right now, because obviously he goes international, like to perform what have you. And obviously I've got a lot of projects on right now myself, so I'm just trying to kind of like ease off from what I've got going on right now, as well as So yeah.
But how old were you at that? How old were you when you did that show?
So how old was I? I think I was like 13, 12 or 13.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 12 or 13. the song I sung, if I remember rightly, it was "Bring It Home to Me," because I've got it on the it was recorded on the DVD thing somewhere, but I was just trying to find it and upload it. But yeah, it was that long ago. Yeah.
Wow.
We drove up there the morning as
So
well. We went there from like around 7:30 when we left out. Yeah.
Wow. So from there, what happens now? 13 years old, you're doing this show. Now you got the bug. Yeah, I did good today. What am I going to do? What's the next step? Like, what happened from there?
So from there, I kind of like decided to kind of like take a break from the music and just kind of stayed in church because, you know, I've been working with like producers from a very young age and I've had some, you know, terrible experiences, you know, and after a certain experience, I said, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, I'll just keep it in church. And I stuck to my guns. I continued to write songs, yes, but I just didn't go and record. I just wasn't no longer interested, if you like. And it was kind of like, I think it was around 2020 sometimes, before the lockdown, there was a show in Stratford Circus. It's a lovely guy called Trevor Blackman, his name was. And I was introduced to him from when I was at college, before I went to uni, actually. And we kept the link on thing, but he kept inviting me to shows. And I said, I don't want to do anything like music-wise, like, you know what I mean? And, you know, I decided to kind of like, you know, block and delete. And then I'm being honest, I'm going to be real. So I remember.
Oh, you have to talk. Listen, but that's right. You talk up the things, them, because still live. Go on then.
So I blocked and deleted him, and it came to my attention that he actually knows one of my older brothers. As a child growing up, I was very rebellious, and you know, if you tell me not to do something, I will do it anyways. Like, I mean, that was me. And it was my brother that kind of taught me to do the show. And I said, look, after I do this show, I ain't, you know, bloody recordings and none of that sort of stuff. Anyways, done the show, and I bucked up onto guys like Chris Peckins.
Oh, wow.
There's a few other producers in there as well. But Chris Peckins was the one that, along with Joe G's, but we'll get to that in a minute. Chris Peckins was the one that gave me, you know, the first looking into the reggae business properly. And to him, you know, I owe him, like, you know, a big thank you. So Chris Peckins, if you're out there, wherever you are and you see this, thank you, because he was the first producer that you know, decided to work with me, as well as Joe G's, God rest his soul. So yes.
So I'm gonna take you back a couple bars. Now, I've read your bio, and I'm assuming that this was the time where you was like, I decided to take a break. You were going through things at that time. Were you going through the things associated with the reggae music? People that you've met, was it really that? Like, what was going on with you?
Well, for me, it was my illness as well, because I suffer with lupus as well. Okay. So it was also my illness, lupus, and you know, it affected me really bad back then. Also as well, when I first started recording, it wasn't reggae I was recording. If I didn't mention it, it was actually pop and soul music, and it didn't work out for me because you know, the producers, you know, some producers wanted they have certain agendas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know
they
what I mean?
Yes,
that's what it was, and I weren't willing to do certain things just to get out there, to be honest. So it just, yeah, you know what I mean. And yeah, and how I looked at it, if it's for me, then it's for me. If it's not, then so be it. And you know, that's, yeah.
Well, that's why we ask the questions, because you know, when people look back on what we've, you know, artists that we've interviewed, we want to know, because there are people out there in the same boat as you, you know what I'm saying, who's been where you are. Some people are still there, right? But when you listen to stories like yours, it gives them inspiration. Right, man, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, this did happen to me, some worse than others. You know what I mean? But we do this, so we ask you the questions, not like we are trying digging at your business, but again, as I stated, why did you take a break? And you explain eloquently You have lupus. There's many people going through lupus and different things that want to give up, but look at you. Look at you.
I mean, for me, when I first got diagnosed with the lupus, you know, because I remember I had to cut all my hair off because my hair was falling out. I mean, by the way, this is all my locks, by the way. Yeah, the doctors said to me that I would never, you know, get my hair back. And, you know, unfortunately for me, the man upstairs had different plans, you know?
Right,
They said I would get to do certain things like, you know, music and what have you. And in the name of Jesus, that was a lie, because here I am right now. And, you know, I give God thanks each and every day because, like I said, you know, I shouldn't be here. And, you know, God had other plans for me. And, you know, to God be the glory. And I thank him every day. And, you know, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Now, during that time now, you went to school, my friend. You got to college. We have to make people know about this man got to college. Let me just think. Criminal justice, right?
Criminology. Well, when I first started university in 2015, at the age of 20, I actually left college. I don't know, because obviously when I was young, I was really bad. So I think I only started to take my education seriously over here from the age of 16, 17. I didn't have GCSEs and all that, to be honest. So anyways, I've done an access course. I think I studied, well, I actually enrolled to do health and social care, or was it social work? And I remember when it was enrollment week and I got to Wolford Forest College, they said to me, I could no longer do the course because there's no one enrolled. They said, you're the only one that applied. So I said, well, can't the teacher only teach just me? They said, no, it's not possible. I said, why? And they said, because it's just not. So you can either come back next year or do another course.
Right.
So I looked into the brochure thing, and the only course they had available was like law and whatnot. I didn't know nothing about no law. You know what I mean? So anyways, I decided to study law. And then I came across this other course that they added onto the law course, which was called Human Resources, which is what I specialize in right now.
Yes.
And when I heard HRM, I said, what the hell is that? HRM? You know, like, hello, somebody explain. So anyways, I completed that. And I had a very strong interest in HR because one of my aunties worked in HR. She's the HR business partner at the moment in one of the hospitals.
Yeah.
Moving forward, completed my degree in criminology and sociology because I said I signed up for law and criminology, but I dropped out of law because certain laws scared me, like land law and all that sort of stuff, and I didn't really learn that in the course. I'd done criminal law and everything else.
Yeah.
So that was completed in 2018, and then I went to do my master's in human resource management at London Metropolitan University, which I had a few issues during that time, which is why it took me maybe 2 years to complete it, which I completed last year, thank God.
Yes, you did. Amen. Amen. 10-star general with the applause. Thank you for the applause. Yes, yes, yes.
You want the applause?
I'll give you the applause. Him deserve it.
Thank you.
Him deserve it.
And I worked in the HR literally for 5.5 years. And I do enjoy HR. I enjoy sorting people's problems out.
Yes,
the best
of
way I
course.
can.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, like I said, I've done it for 5 years. And I was actually the youngest in the profession in all the organizations that I've worked in. Like I said, I've worked for a estate agent in HR. And I was the youngest. I worked with like a lot of like 50-plus-year-olds and 40-year-olds and what have you. And I said, okay, cool, I enjoy HR, but I can always go back into HR because I've got my CIPD level 7 as well.
Right.
So now I'm doing a different profession right now. So I work in enforcement right now. That's what I do. And it's a bit different to what I'm used to, HR again, because I'm used to sitting down in the office and, you know, but at least in this job I move around and, you know, I can also lose some pounds as well. So, yeah.
So tell me about how you came to back so many amazing artists and name them.
I mean, it seems Stormzy. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I see the names. I was like, wait, you got to tell us the story.
Before I start, I'd like to say thank you so much for that, Tasha. Big up
yes.
yourself. As you already know, you know how much I love you, Paulette. Like, I mean, you're like you're a giant to me in Lovers Rock, everything. Like, you're like the biggest inspiration for me. And, you know, this lady, she always has a word of encouragement for me. And, you know, Paulette, I appreciate you. And I do take on everything that you said to me as of recently, you know, being professional. Sometimes I tend to slide off. So, you know, thank you, Paulette. I'm taking it on board. Back to the question, Sharon.
Back to the question. How did my man Webster James Linton begin to back all these amazing singers, like, and you have to name all of them?
So for me, it's just being at the right place being at the right place at the right time. So for me, I met Jamal Edwards. Who did I meet Jamal Edwards through now? I met Jamal Edwards through one young guy from Edmonton, actually. Oh. And he goes by the name, he's a rapper. I think it's Shane Brown, I believe his name is. And he does videos as well, video for all the artists, like video shoots, yeah. Right. So anyhow, I was at this place and I never forget it. It was actually in central London. And Jessie J, Phoebe Edwards, that's her name, Phoebe Edwards. Okay.
Wait, I know Jessie J.
Jessie J.
Jessie J.
Yeah, the white lady. Lovely voice, strong, powerful vocals. She's one of my favorites of today, actually.
Yes.
I know that person.
So I was at a place where she was, and she happened to be rehearsing there. She was actually singing an Aretha Franklin song. I think it was actually Call Me, but she was messing around. And I think she did sound check or what have you. And she was singing, and I knew the song because Call Me by Aretha Franklin is one of my favorite songs. You know, and another jazz song she was called Trouble in Mind. And she was just singing them both. I said, this girl playing with me. Like, I was just singing my songs.
You see?
So, I literally started to sing along, and, you know, I happened to be harmonizing. At the time, I didn't really understand harmonies like that, but, you know, I was doing it. And yeah, I ended up, you know, happened to be on the same thing as her, and I was doing the harmonies to that song for her. She actually sang it. And yeah.
Wow. And you see,
And
just
then
like I was saying in the beginning, you were listening to all this music. You see how you was prepared. You was getting ready. Webster, you see how it coming? You was getting ready.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So
I've also backed you know, singers like Donnie McClurkin as well when they came over.
Really?
Because
wow.
Yeah, Kim Burrell as well. There's Kim Burrell, Donnie McClurkin. There's so many names. Who else? I said Gina Tucker earlier, and Colin Davis. Yeah. So it's a lot of names. And Private Collection. As well.
I love them. I've always loved them. I've seen them live on a visit home. They're amazing.
Yeah, Private Collection. And then Christine Joy White as well. And a few others as well. Yeah.
So now, oh, you know what? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm hugging. Okay, 10 Star, come you talk to him all day, make you sit on the back, you know, see it. Webster.
You can hug the mic all you want, it's okay.
This time of the mic, I said, all right, me and Webster. Okay, sorry. 10 Star General, are you?
Yeah. You know, it's like being given a mirror, and it's like, you know, you're listening on the outside in kind of thing, you know, it's like, this guy, you know, it's like you've been blessed to work with some of the best, you know, however you've done it is miraculous in itself, you know, because what you've been able to achieve is what some people crave to achieve. That in itself is a blessing.
Yes.
You were with Christine Joy White, legend.
She's also a good friend of mine as well, Christine.
Oh, your friend, you have a whole heap of friend, all of them must love you.
She's a lovely one. You know, vocals, like, you know, her vocals are always 10 out of 10. And, you know, sometimes when I go to her, because even before I record a song, sometimes I always run it by her. And if she kind of gives me the, I know I need to kind of, like, you know, improve a line and, you know, get in the studio, go and record it and come back.
Right. And you need those people around you, people who are not yes people, which is very, very crucial, you know. People can tell you the truth, you know, because unless you have those people around you, it's like, how are you able to weigh up where you want to be and get to without having those people who are unafraid to say, listen, you need to change that phrase to this, or whatever line it is, or whatever key, or whatever it is, you know, and to have those people on your side, well, you're blessed, man.
I mean,
so
my one aim in this business is to kind of like I said, I listen to a lot of the greats and the legends, like, you know, again, like, you know, mention Paul Tyler, Christine Joy White, Winston Reedy. I mean, Winston, I work very closely with Winston Reedy in the studio.
Turn your lights down low, girl.
I mean, when I sit down and I watch how Winston Reedy performs in the studio, I mean, I even sat down with the Pioneers, the group from back in the 70s, George and them,
yeah.
And you know, it's funny because how I met him was through his son, because his son, I know his son very well, he's not too far from me. And when he said to me, my dad's from the Pioneers, and whatever, you're lying, I said to him. I said, no, that's my dad. And you know, I actually met him, and George, I was like, oh my God, I've been a great fan. I mean, there's some albums behind me, and the Pioneers, I got almost all their albums at the Pioneers. So that's what I've got, like Long Shot, Kick the Bucket, something, man. You know, I'm kind of tuned there.
Kick the bucket.
You know what I mean? But my one aim in this business, like I said, is to kind of like, you know, keep up the same standard as, you know, what, you know, people like Richie Davis, Don Campbell, put touch what they put out. Listen to what they put out is so perfect for me. And you know, my one aim is to kind of like, you know, keep that same standards, as good as, I wouldn't say better than, because these people are giants. Like, I mean, they've mastered their team, you understand? And with somebody like me, look at me still I learn, you understand? So that's my kind of, you know, mindset right now. And I thrive on, you know, constructive criticism, because for me, it made me as an young artist come up in this team, want to work harder. You understand? So that's me. And like I said, I'm never too young or too old to learn. I learned something the other day, even at Giants Lovers Rock. I you know, I learned a few things watching them, because as soon as I finished, I didn't really mingle at the back. I went to the front and watched all the other artists go and perform. You understand? And you know, like I said, I learned a lot. And it's you know, and should I be on there next year? I know that I can do. I mean, I've done really well based on the feedback I've got, but I know that I could do better next year as well. So yeah.
Right. I mean, you've definitely backed some of the greats in our industry. Stormzy has gone on to become the great man that he is. Private Collection, they're legends. Christian Joe White, everybody you've mentioned have made a name for themselves in the industry, and you've been able to, in some way, shape or form, have an association, whether it was doing backing singing or whatever it was you did with them. You've been able to come a very long way, which you have a lot to, you know, be grateful for. You know, that God has chosen you, Webster, to do this great work. You know what I mean? And you are in some way making a lot of noise. However, in the noise you're making, you know, first thing that comes to mind is how are you able to keep a music career, which can be very tasking in itself, you know, doing producing work myself and working with many artists in the industry, you know, to get in, what was that award he got, or certificate he got?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Criminology something?
The criminology and human resource management. Yeah, my master's in HR and my first degree was in criminology.
Imagine you were packing one huge brain. That's a cranium you have on you, man.
That's what I was about to say. So that's not something you'd be like, all right, let me just go on and do this. That's some real shit. That's some real shit. That's all.
It was, yes. I mean, I went through it. Like I said, I had a lot of things going for at the time. You know, when I was doing this, I had, you know, my relationship was going downhill with, you know, who I was with, and you know, I mean, a lot of that did take a toll, and you know, going through exams at the same time. To be honest with you, I'm sitting now looking at my thing on the wall right now. I don't even know how I even, you know, managed to achieve.
Well, that would have been my next question. How were you able to focus on, getting your degree? Because you got a degree, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have your degree, you're focusing on music. When you reflect back, like in real time, right here and now, me asking you this question, how were you able to zone in to what was important to you? What was going through your mind?
For me, I'm just gonna be real, and this, like for me, like I said, it was one of the ones like I always tell people, it's not about what you're going through, it's how you get through it. And regardless what, if I decided to crumble during that badass period I was going through, at the end of the day, I took out a loan to do my courses, and I'm paying them back up to this best day. And it's one of the ones, whether you fail or you pass, you still have to pay back the people the money.
You're gonna pay that back, yeah.
So it's one of the ones that, I did not, start this in vain, and to start and leave comes to a person. When I like to start things and don't finish it, you know what I mean? And I had to be faithful to myself to complete, because the Bible says, he who started a good work, you shall be faithful to complete it. And, I had to be faithful to myself, because I started that work and I had to complete it. And regardless of what was going on, I had to do it. Because I was battling a lot of things, like I said, my health. I was also battling mental health at the time as well, such as, depression. I was battling depression. And, sometimes, it still comes here and there, but it's how I manage it. And how I manage my depression is through music. Because a lot of, especially black men, they go through things and they tend not to speak about things. And I say, no, you don't keep it to yourself. You talk. There's people out there, if you, go and see a counselor. I see a counselor. I see my counselor every week. And, I enjoy my sessions because, like I said, when you speak to someone that they can't really judge you, they can just listen. And sometimes we need just a listening ear. Yeah. Someone that just doesn't talk back, they just listen. And it's doing me well right now. And like I said, therapy is nothing to be ashamed of. Men in general, if you feel that you can't talk to, whether it's your spouse or whatever, just talk. Don't keep it in, because like I said, you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting nobody else. And I was hurting myself for a while, and I said, no, I need to stop hurting myself, and I need to heal. I'm still healing from certain things, and music has been one of the main factors and one of the biggest factors in my life that's helped me to heal. Me performing on stage, making people happy, like I did at Giants and Lovers Rock. So many people came up to me at Giants and Lovers Rock, and I was very overwhelmed, and knowing that I made an impact of, like I did that night, I felt good within myself, and that's how I manage my, so yeah.
Well, that's great, and so how did that make you feel, knowing that you appeared on Giants and Lovers Rock, right? And people approaching you, showing you love in real raw time? What did that do for you as a human being?
I'll be honest, I'm getting a bit emotional, sorry. For me, because when Orlando said to me that I was on, Orlando told me from last year that I was on, actually, to be honest, but when he said it to me, I was like, yeah, whatever. I was like, yeah, Orlando,
you're coming on Giants and Lovers Rock, you are. Get ready.
Because I remember I did ask him a few years before, and listen to certain stuff that I've done and what have you. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And when Orlando said, he's been watching what I've been doing for a while, and a few people said a few things here and there, and it's about time that he put me on. I didn't really believe him until when I saw the flyer.
Yes.
Get out of here! You're having me on.
After I did it. Because when I was backstage, I was chatting with Jimmy Lindsay, because Minnie was speaking from rehearsal from the day before. And I said to Jimmy, I remember I was in the dressing room, and the lady that was doing the stage, and also the lovely young lady, Sigoni, Paulette Taj's daughter, they came and got me. And I said to Sigoni, listen, I'm not doing this. I said to her, I don't want to do it. I can't go on. And they said, but you're going to be going on soon. It's a bit I said, no, I can't do this. Let me breathe. Just give me a minute. So I caught myself, and Jimmy Lindsay spoke to me, and he held on to me and he said to me, young man, this is your
So just before you went on stage, nerves kicked in.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
You know, when I stood backstage, and I remember after Nubian Queens finished, and Eddie Nestor came and handed me the mic.
Oh, yeah.
I literally was like, oh my God. Yeah. And I went on there and I did my thing. And yeah, it was a good, like I said, I got a good response, a good reaction from the crowd, and so many people came back to come see me, you know. And also like to take the time out to big up Wendy Lopez. Wendy, big up yourself.
Wait, first and foremost, who is Wendy Lopez?
Yeah,
before you
Wendy? Now, Wendy Lopez, she's one of my biggest supporters, and you know, she's actually now a friend. Actually, you know, she's not even she's now a friend, but like I said, she supports me big time, and you know, she came out of her way like to support all the other artists. Like I said, I'm a small fry compared to all the giants that was on the bill.
Right.
But she came out and see me, and you know, literally, she actually, I heard her scream on top of her voice. I had to look up, and I pointed at her up there when I heard her. Like literally, she literally came out and come support me. She's always, you know, sharing. She's just, yeah. Big up yourself, Wendy. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. You know, and it's people like her that keeps me going. So big up yourself, Wendy.
We're gonna call her Mama Lopez.
We're gonna call her, yes, Mama Lopez for real.
Mama Lopez. We love Mama Lopez. All right. So, and it's good to have those people in your corner. You know, just like I'm reading a comment here now by Paulette Tarja. Said, great to hear you speak up about mental health. It's such a taboo subject in so many families. This is why we've used our platform to make a difference. I've always said, just like Sharon, that if our platform cannot make a change in the world today, then I really don't want to do these podcasts with none whatsoever. Yeah. So I've always said, and I've said to everyone around me, that if we cannot be the change the world needs to see, then these podcasts really do not make sense to me, you know. And one of the subject matters Sharon and I have always talked about is mental health, which we did, I think it was a month ago, right?
We did it.
We did the very first show, one of many.
Yeah, we did. We started to do that as my younger sister. She works in the field, and she was going through some stuff. I'll share this quick story. She was going through some stuff, not good stuff in her marriage. She already had a bachelor's in this. And when she just about got rid of her problems, got divorced, she went back to school and got her master's. Then she went to get her PhD in this later age in her life. All to do with mental health. We wanted to touch on that subject and we brought people on, but I want to commend you for being very transparent, because when it does come to Black men, they'll dismiss it quickly. Oh yeah, chat about, nothing wrong with me all right, blah, 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 blah. It is a big issue. And we, Again, I commend you for being transparent in that, because people don't want to talk about it. Black people don't want to talk about it. Caribbean people said, nothing wrong with you or something. I must be duppy or something. Or, you know what I'm saying? All them kind of stupidness. People need to be educated. And so we will hopefully have you on again when we are on this subject, because it's important for people to know and be aware of the different levels of mental health. You found your out through music. Some people don't know what their outlet is. And yes, you go to a therapist. That is very important to express that. You know what I'm saying? Which is what you did. And I'm so proud of you. You're a young man. You're one of the youngest in the industry that we've actually interviewed. And you've achieved so much. You've achieved so much given the different levels of obstacles you went through in the music industry at the young age. You're still young. You're a young man. Not to say me old, you know, because I still look me all right. But I'm just saying, as a young man, he's one of the youngest who's been through what so many older than us have been through and was never able to deal with it. So it's a beautiful thing. You may not know your purpose just yet. You're doing what you do, but this level, you will change lives. Webster, you will change lives.
Okay.
Just by what you've done. You will change people's mindset. It's a beautiful thing what you're doing, and you've overcome much. You're a child of God, right? God, as 10 Star asked me the other day, Sharon, what is it that you say? God gives these toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, and you are one of them.
Right, amen.
Never forget that, young man. Never, never, never forget that, because the more we do these shows and bring young men, young artists like yourself, the more the world will change. Our mindset has to change for what's coming. We speak of
one thing that is for sure, Sharon, right, that I want to interject is that it's quite clear that many of us in the industry, whether you're in the industry or not, or just a regular normal human being, right, that we all need counseling. We all need that person to speak to or have a conversation with, or someone who is not going to judge you, you know. We all need that, you know. It's like we're all crying for help, you know. Many put on this very tough exterior, you know, and shows you, hey, I don't need this and that, blah, blah, blah. Put on that big, deep voice. But behind the four walls of their homes is like, who is crying for help?
That's
you
it.
know?
That's it.
And I've met many people who were on the verge of suicide. I won't mention names for sake of privacy, you know, that just wanted to end it, you know. And it made me realize many put on this tough exterior, but really need that help. So it's very important what Sharon is saying, what I'm saying, that, you know, feel no way. If you ever need that person to talk to, speak to that person who you feel comfortable with and speak about it. There's no shame to it, you know. There's times when, like many people may not know, I'm going through one of the weakest points in my life today, and you never know it, which is the time today actually is the day when my father died of prostate cancer. And on the day that he died was the day we found that he has stage 4 prostate cancer. Kills the hell out of me to this day, you know. And how nice it is I have Auntie Sharon to run to.
Yes. See me here, please here. See me here.
You know?
Yes.
You know, so we all need that person, you know?
Yeah.
So I, you know, part of this show is not just about talking about your life and how you got into the music. That's all great and everything else. But how, isn't it crazy how it's apparent that we all need help? From this conversation, we get to realize that, you know, we all have our weak moments.
Yeah.
And you're going through your moment where you needed help, and you're going through your situation and how you're getting through it and how you're making noise, you know, in the industry, and you're shining and you got your degree and you're working with some of the biggest names. How many people would wish they could work with Stormzy?
Yeah.
A lot.
I'm just picking one name out of the bunch.
One name out the bunch, Stormzy.
A lot.
Some people, I'll say, okay, I'm working with Stormzy. Okay, I can't breathe.
Yes.
We need a pump to breathe. Okay, a couple of squirts. You know what I mean? So you know, I love these conversations, and you know, like I say, I've interviewed many of people who I've interviewed, been in tears, and it's just apparent that we all need each other.
Yes.
This is why Sharon and I and the rest of the team that, you know, we're associated with are headstrong about being the point of change the world needs to see.
Yes.
We're not talking about how we can revive Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or whatever. We have to do it ourselves. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping, like Sharon says, that anybody watching these shows, that they can be inspired just by Listen to Webster.
Yeah, the Webster was like, really? Because you wouldn't know. How are you going to know? Because we always put on the facade. We're going to go out there and put on the whole shroud, and we do what we do, and we come and we take it off, and it's a whole nother thing. It's important people to know and recognize that we are one of many.
It's true, because a lot of people think that, artists, are just, no, like, we're human beings, like, besides
human beings,
stage and all that sort of stuff, we go through some things, and some stuff, people try to, but like I said, we go through things, and like I said, I'm still going through things now, and my way of getting through what I'm going through is, always realizing that there's always someone out there going through a lot worse, and again, it's not about what you are going through, it's how you get through it. You understand? And with me, I'm a fighter. I'm a strong person, and I've always been strong, and I've inherited that from my mum. And I had to be strong. And
Mum is still alive?
Exactly.
Okay.
Battling, as I said, lupus, this horrible disease, and it's I mean, every year when summer finishes, because I get my pains during the summer, but you see, when winter comes, I always fear when winter comes, because I just never know what's going to happen, because it affects me so bad during the winter, like the joint pains, sometimes it gets sore and I can hardly move sometimes, but I still keep going. I don't dwell on it and let it control me, because like I said, I believe in the man upstairs, and anything I want, God will give me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I tell you what I want to do. I want to come to, first and foremost, I want to come to Miss Wendy Lopez, if she wouldn't mind unmuting and say a few words. Do you mind saying a few words? Just unmute and say a few words about Webster.
There you go.
There you go. Miss Mama Wendy. We said Mama Wendy.
Mama Wendy. Yes.
Hello. Basically, the first time I heard of Webster was on a DJ radio station. This song came on, Bring It On Home to Me.
Okay.
And I thought, hold on a minute, who's singing this version? Who is this? And then, I got in touch with the DJ, and she was telling me who it was, and I thought, sorry, a bit nervous. Lady Matrix, that's her name. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh yes, I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, that's an old song. And who is this? Webster? And I've never heard anyone called Webster. Webster was the first. And I thought, wow. And I've followed him ever since. I haven't been able to go and see him because, long story, I've basically got a disabled child and I can't get out. Right. So when the Giants of Lovers Rock was doing their show, and I was looking through the list, and I thought, Webster James Linton. No, I'm going. And I've got my ticket. I asked some of my friends, no, they ain't. I said, I'm going. I don't care. I am going. But I couldn't stand up. I had to sit down. My knees were saying, sit.
Yeah.
But you know what? He walked onto that stage with that mic like, you know what? This is me. I've been here before. What part of you was nervous before? Oh, look.
A real thing, for real.
I'm so sorry you heard me shout, Shane. But I love watching him. I love all the videos he does, and he is. How old did you say you were?
27.
He's 27. Yes, we did check up on him. He's 27. That is a sign. The boy. Ram.
He's got a voice like he's been doing this for donkey's years, and just amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm not a professional singer. I've always wanted to be a singer, but something happened to me when I was younger, and I said, you know what? You ain't getting my voice, so I didn't do it. But I am behind Webster everything to try and big him up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Mama Wendy, you are you that?
Don't stop crying. Don't stop crying.
Oh, don't start. Listen, Webster, you probably never thought you was going to shed a tear, but when you come on my show, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised people come and be like, why? I can't believe. Yes, be yourself. It's your day, your flowers. God has blessed you. Now,
this is kind of like, this is your life, isn't it?
It sounds like this is your life. Yeah, because he's done so much. He's overcome a lot. I wanted to ask him real quick, did you back Sandra Cross?
Sandra Cross, no. So I've worked with her during the choir when she was doing it, and we had a show coming up, but because of the disgusting so-called COVID, it got you know, cancelled. But I don't know if you're aware that the choir is starting back up again. I've been invited down to do it just because of the hours that I work, because I work literally 45 hours a week, and you know, on top of that as well, the music as well, I got to fit it in. And you know, if I'm not booked at the studio, there's other stuff that I got to do, like, you know, attend to my grandmother, who's, you know, very old in age as well, and you know what I mean. So it's just a lot of that as well that I've got to kind of like fit into my schedule as well. But I did say to her daughter, Sandra Cross's daughter, Levine, that I will be attending one of the evenings to what do we call it, and then I might decide to actually join back up. But it just all depends on my work schedule, because right now I need the 45 hours right now. But, yeah.
Wow. So do you think?
Well, I tell you, sorry, go ahead, Sharon.
Oh, do you think that's okay, B? Do you think that? Do you see for yourself, it's going to come a time where you won't have to go to that 9 to 5, and that this is going to come full on, like something's going to happen where it's like, but me can't go to work. There's a decision you got, me can't go back there. If I miss this opportunity, the one opportunity, the next big opportunity might take you to the top. Have you thought about that?
I do think about it and wish for it. I mean, you know, I mean, all the time, but it's like, you know, until God makes that happen for me, I mean, then right.
Okay, because you have no idea, you know, we not working on our time, it's God's time.
Exactly.
Anything that you've done, anything that we do, we say we have make schedule. No, God made your schedule. He might have a schedule for you to go on. This is how it's gonna go, and that's how it's been for you.
I'm a strong believer of nothing before its time.
Nothing before its time.
You know, yeah, as you said, nothing before its time, and you know, God's timing is always the best timing for me.
Always the best timing. Yeah, well, yes, for sure. I mean, this is what we see, but there's so much greatness in you. There's so much greatness in you. I have no idea how to explain or convey to you what God has for you. You're doing it already. The reward is great. I feel it in my spirit.
I'd also like to thank the producer, Gregory Fabulous, who produced that song for me, Bring It Home to Me, because I think that was the song that actually got me out there, because I'd done a gospel song called You Give Me Joy, which did reach #2 in the gospel Premier Radio charts.
Yeah, I think I did see that. Yeah, yes, it was a beautiful song. Yes, yes.
And I got an award for that, and that was actually Matthew and Fluxy rhythm, actually. But the song was actually written by myself and Panchita Latouche.
Panchita Latouche.
Yeah, she's a family friend, and with Panchita Latouche, she's one of the main reasons.
Wait, why don't I know that name?
You don't know Panchita Latouche?
God.
You know the song, what's it called? 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yes, I know that person. Yes. Okay, yes, I'm up to date. I had to redate my system, sorry.
Yeah, with Auntie Panchi, sorry, Panchita Latouche, but Auntie Panchi.
Auntie Panchi, yes.
She, you know, when it came to songwriting, if I'm honestly speaking, she is the reason why I started to do songwriting. She is the reason why I know how to write songs. I've got a pen to paper to write a song, because I remember I started to kind of like, deal with REP through music properly 2018.
Okay.
During the time that I was going through, and she wrote that one song for me, and I had another song that I wanted to write, but Artie Panchi, she's one of the ones like, she show you something once, she expects you to get it. You know what I mean? And she like, you know what I mean? She'll kind of assist you, but she ain't gonna kind of like give it to you on the platter like the first time. She's very tough like that. And I never forget one time I was at REP, I got this rhythm here, and I need, she's like, no, I'm not doing it. You're gonna do it. I showed you. No, right, come sit down and write the song, right? Play the song and just think of what it is you're talking about. Blah, blah, put it to paper. And anyways, the song came along really nicely. And all thanks to her again, she's made a few calls to certain producers for me. She's got me on a few bookings as well. So she's been a real, inspiration in my life, Panchita Latouche. And also not just that as well, a real mentor, She's someone that I can call at 2-3 o'clock in the morning and, we'll laugh, we'll cry. That's REP and me, and the whole family, like, because I grew up with the family, so imagine that, like, the sisters with my mom and all that sort of stuff.
That is amazing.
It's yeah, but Panchita, she's fantastic. She is. And I pray that, because she's doing really big things right now in the music right now. Her latest release that she done with JJ Born to Sing, who's another artist.
Oh yeah, we love him. Yeah, we had him on our show.
And his vocals is just wow, like it's just so different, but it's like, yeah, what I mean? He's somebody that I could listen to all day long. And when I came across the song he done with my auntie P, I rang REP and said, P, you done a song with JJ. And she's like, yeah, she's like, did you hear it? I said, of course I bloody heard it. I said, it sounds fantastic. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I tell you what, Sharon, let's come to some of the guests and see if anybody wants to ask any questions. You kick it off. I will add them to the matrix. So go ahead, Sharon.
So anybody in here who'd like to say something to Webster, amazing young man, words of encouragement, or just how blown away as we are. Jenny J, is it Jenny J? I see a hand raised. Jenny J.
Is it the MC Jenny J that we met at the Stratford Town Hall?
Oh, is it Jenny J?
Yes, me, Webster. Yes, it is.
Oh, hey, Jenny.
Hello, darling. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been nice to be on your podcast today, and I definitely came to hear what Webster has to say about himself. I did meet Webster when we was defending the legacy for Hibiscus Community Centre, and that's the very first time I met him. I was the MC for the show that we put on at Stratford Town Hall, and I had Webster done as an up-and-coming artist. So he was the first one that came into the rehearsals, and I just wanted to have a quick word with him to prime him to go on the stage and say, I know it's new to you, you're an up-and-coming artist. He said, excuse me, up-and-coming artist? But that's what I was told. And then he said, Jenny J, this is me. And he showed me a website about himself, and I was reading it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're somebody that I should actually know, but I didn't know him. And it was a pleasure to meet you, Webster, and also an honor to have you on the show, and your performance was absolutely great. And I'm just like Wendy, every time I see your name, I will try and be in any event that you're doing. Unfortunately, I didn't get to come to the Giant with Lovers Rock, but I could see
take over.
Yeah, it was a brilliant show, and you had a wonderful time. So congratulations on all your achievement. I will try and keep up with you because you're so busy and doing a lot of things, but you are a blessed child, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
And thank you for having me at Defender Legacy. It was a lovely event, and I actually enjoyed myself. I worked with the likes of, Donovan King J, who I, respect very much in this business. He's such a hard worker, that man. And, I worked with the likes of Roger Robin, and that's a childhood favorite of mine as well. Wow. All the artists were fantastically great that night, but, Roger Robin and Donovan King J and Tenor Star as well.
Yes.
Big up. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny J. Is there anybody else who would like to say a quick word? To my new friend Webster. Webster, my new friend. You understand? Your friend
What's
Albo.
that thing?
Yeah, US. My new friend. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, it's DJ Maestro here.
Oh,
DJ Maestro.
I was waiting for the ladies to come in first. I didn't want to step on anybody's toes before I came in, but nobody unmuted, so I thought let me just come in quickly. Greetings everyone, Sunday greetings, blessings. Webster James Linton, man. I tell you what, when they made you, man, the mold was broken. You just listen to your story, man. You're a very, very special person. You know, what are you, 27 years old?
Yes.
Wow. I'm not being funny. You've got an old head on young shoulders.
Yes.
And with all your health issues, what we've got on your side with the music. I mean, I've been listening to your music for even up to today, I've been listening to your music. And you're very talented, my friend. You are very talented, and this is your time, as Sharon said, this is your time to progress. You know, the stars, the world is your oyster, my friend, and you're gonna be going to a different level. You're there already, and I can see in you. You're a very stable young man. I mean, I could call you my son because I'm not going to tell you my age, but I could call you, I could call you my son. And all I can say is keep on doing what you're doing, brother. I'm following you on Insta. I've got some of your tunes already, but I'm going to be playing on my show. So just keep on doing your thing with all the inspirational people around you. You know, Wendy said the same thing, Paulette has said it, Sharon, 10 Star, everyone, Jenny J said, some positive things to you. Just keep on doing, my brother, and bless you, and all the best for the future. Okay? Okay then. No problem. One love.
Respect, DJ Maestro. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am not gonna allow Paulette Tarja get away. Paulette Tarja, where's she there?
Yeah, she's there. Yes.
I'm right here. I did actually unmute, but it took me a little while. So first and foremost, can I just say thank you, God, for having this podcast, and for General 10 Star and Sharon Mango for having this platform for not only you, Webster, but other artists to be able to, share their journey, to inspire, to give hope, and also, for people to recognize who they are and what they've contributed. Now, you're like my little nephew. I don't actually know the date that I started to sort of connect with you, but I think it was actually on Facebook.
Yes.
And I thought, who's this young guy? He was very, very, very confident, very outgoing and whatever. And then when I found out that you sort of did reggae, I thought, you know what, this is really great. Now, I didn't know your age at the time, but your approach sounded youthful and everything. And I thought, there are very few young Black men coming through to take over the reins in this particular genre. Yeah, I don't want to pigeonhole you to say it's just lovers rock, because you're bigger than just that genre. But there are very few men coming through to sort of pick up the reins. So I think that's what sparked my interest most of all. And then we met at that gig with Sandra Cross, wasn't it? Was that the first time we met?
In Ladbroke Grove, right?
In Ladbroke Grove, absolutely. Me and Wendy Walker and Sandra Cross were performing. And you are a larger-than-life character, sir, I have to say. Yeah, when Linton, James Webster is in the room, everybody knows. And, you are a light, and people gravitate towards you. And that is a special quality to have. I mean, I'm in awe of not only your academic achievements, but also, the array of people that you've worked with. As was said earlier, some artists that are veterans don't have a patch on you, in terms of being able to work with that caliber of artists. And I would say continue what you're doing, which is harnessing those experiences, drawing from them, and actually then, you know, creating your own persona and your own unique identity. Yeah, you were very transparent about your journey in terms of your health and your mental well-being, and it is so powerful to hear that from you as a young Black man. Yeah, because it's often swept under the carpet, not talked about, and you will empower so many other young Black men to actually face up to those issues and do something about it. But the number one thing is for Black men to talk about it to each other or to someone, to alleviate some of these stresses, to alleviate some of these concerns, and to get help when it's appropriate to do so. Yeah, we're living in a very stressful world, and it's deepened by the financial crisis, energy crisis, and all these things that push people to the edge. You know, and if they feel they can't go anywhere, you know, it can often feel like, well, there's only one route, and there absolutely is always a choice. So I commend you, little Neff, yeah, for standing up and actually putting your heart on your sleeve. Yeah, I'm really proud of the fact that you do listen, because I've had quite tough conversations with you sometimes. Yeah, and you could have said, yeah, whatever, Paulette, go away. I can do this is me, and blah, blah, blah. But you've been respectful, you have listened, and I've seen you take on board, probably not just from me, but from other people as well, counsel and act on it. And, you know, my question to you is, what else could artists like myself do to shepherd you more into the industry?
I would say kind of like I don't know, as well as like, you know, what you got. I know like a lot of you guys like are very busy in terms of that schedule. You guys got your own music and your own projects, and some of you that work outside the music as well. But I would say like, you know, mentoring like some of the younger artists, like, you know, because I think majority of us. Sorry, I'm getting emotional here. I'm talking to all that time. Sorry.
Come on now, it's just me.
All right, cool. So I think mentoring is definitely what's needed. And lucky for me, as I said, I've got Panchi Latouche. I've recently connected with Richard Davis, who I've admired for years. You know, he knows my mum and dad very well as well. And his daughters, imagine went to school with his daughters and all that. Imagine that. You know, awesome. I've got Richie to talk to, you know, and obviously Paulette yourself as well.
Yes.
I speak to, although kind of like most of the time I speak to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, you know, some of the other artists, like the legends, should kind of like, you know, take up like some kind of time to kind of, you know, mentor and to encourage more of the young artists come into the business. And because it's not an easy business, it's not.
It's not.
There's a lot of you know, struggles, like, you know, from getting the DJs to play music, from finding the right producer, the right person to work with, and you know, like in management and all those things. IEP, it's just like, do you know what I mean? I just feel that more mentoring and more kind of like, you know, I mean, for example, I feel the reggae fraternity is doing the best that they can do in terms of like, you know, making us aware of certain things, but I feel like, you know, more mentoring should be put in place.
Yeah,
you know, I feel there's more to kind of like, you know, this, you know, finding a particular artist that you like and putting them on the shows. I think, you know, you should kind of like, you know what I mean, you know, yeah.
I mean, that's an excellent point. And actually, you must have heard of the great bubblers Carlton Ogilvie.
Oh yes.
Yeah, producer, played for so many, you know, artists. You know, had his own band and everything. And him and Don Campbell, you know, were very, very tight in the same band and whatever. And he actually started up, you know, a group, and he said he wanted to start with the females first. Actually, exactly what you've just said, that some of the veteran ones become mentors for some of the newer females. And then he says he's going to do the same for the guys. Okay, so I would urge you to get in touch with Bubblers. Reach out to him and say that, you know, maybe you'd like to be part of that, and don't undervalue what you bring to another artist who's maybe newer than you, because I'm telling you, you have got experience beyond belief. Yeah, in terms of some of the arenas that you've stepped into that other people would just be, you know, in awe of. So don't undervalue what you already bring to the table. But I applaud you for what you've done so far in all aspects of your life. You know, I pray that God continues to just shine his light on you, because you have purpose. You have purpose, sir, and you are going to shine bright in this world and continue to change lives, as you know, Sharon said earlier on. Yeah, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I hope that that continues. And yeah, I just want nothing but greatness for you, sir. Blessings.
So much for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paulette.
God bless you.
Now we have the Spider, DJ Spider, if you would unmute.
DJ Spider, my friend, big up yourself. I also I met him at the Stratford Town Hall. Where's the other one? Double Trouble, we're in there.
DJ Spider, if you would, he was unmute before, please.
DJ Spider, is DJ Spider there?
Yes. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. I'd just like to say, I did meet Webster at the event down at Stratford Town Hall, and you know, to start off, I got his name wrong and that, which is a common problem of mine. But out of all the artists down there, he was one of the he was the youngest one down there, but he was so professional with the way he controlled himself and how he just, his posture and everything was just something to be held. And you know, I don't follow him as often as I should, but Jenny J always keeps me informed of what he's doing and that, yeah. Because I think she's stalking you, Webster, by the way, you know.
I see you, Jenny, I'm watching it.
Yeah. And as I said, Webster, and I gave you my card and that, if you ever want airtime, you just need to call me.
Thank you.
You just need to call. Because from hearing you and the way we run the radio station, we would have more than plenty time for you to come down and have your say, you know. And it was nice learning a lot about you today. You know, it was, well, it is very, very interesting. And I'm glad that you can actually talk about men's mental health, which coming from a younger person is something the younger people need. Whereas we have, as an older generation, we do have people to look up and talk to about mental health. Whereas the younger ones have nobody. And I believe you would be a very, very good role model. So continue the good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here, and especially realizing how young a man you are, that you have come so far. Continue the good work.
Thank you. Blessings.
And God bless you.
And DJ Spider, before you go, tell us who you are, where you play, plug whatever it is you do before you leave.
I work for a community radio station called Unlimited Radio. My number's on my little picture. And the radio station is unlimitedradio.co.uk. And you know, if any of you know any featured artists, because I do a Wednesday spot where I will play up and coming artists, and that's how I actually got two of Webster's first songs. Where they were sent round, and I played them, but I didn't have a clue who he was. Besides, I actually liked his voice.
Right.
So when I did get to meet him, it was a bit of a shock. I met him, still didn't know who he was, and then when I got to play for him to do his part, it was like, hold on, I got this record already.
Right.
And that's how I met him, and I'm glad he's doing so well. So glad.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, DJ Spider.
Spider, thank
Okay,
you
you're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for letting me say a little piece.
Of course, yes, of
Very
course.
important.
Listen.
Well, I'd also like to, like I said, shout out all, like, the public viewers and public listeners, because at the end of the day, as an artist, I do this for you guys, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying my music wherever you guys are out there in the world. Because a lot of people keep on talking about the song "Bring It Home to Me," and what made that song different. As I said, that was a song that got me out there, and I remember it was actually in the charts in the USA, actually reggae charts over there at number 9, top 10, and it went to number 9 over here as well, which I didn't expect. I didn't know it was even in America. It was actually a promoter that contacted me and said, "You do know that your song is in the charts?" So I said, "Song?" I said, "What song?" And they said, "Bring It Home to Me." I said, "What?" I said, "Let me see this," and I saw it. I was like, "Oh my God, wow!" And what made it, the comments that I got was that it was different, because so many people have covered that song. And to be honest, I remember when I went to the studio to record on that rhythm, the Clearwater rhythm, it wasn't even supposed to be a cover. It was actually an original song. And it just was, the vibe just wasn't there. I was listening to Sam Cooke for the whole day. And I love all Sam Cooke songs. I can name them all. But my one favorite song of Sam Cooke was "Bring It Home to Me." And "You Send Me," and it was between those two, and I had to choose, and I was just singing along on the rhythm, and it just worked. And then bang, here it is. And I remember when I recorded, coming to the end of the song, I kind of like ran out of words, and there was the bit that I put in it, which I wrote myself. I took from another song that I written called "I Love the Way You Hold Me, I Love the Way You Squeeze Me." So that song there, well, that was what I put in it, and that was made it so different and unique and my own, So that was a response I got. It was a very positive response, so people still talk about it today. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I want to ask, is there anybody else before we round up the show who would like to say a few words to Webster? If not, then we shall progress. Sharon Bentley.
Yes, 10 Star. Yes, Webster.
Hello.
Hi. I've been listening to you, and I'm really amazed. I'm really amazed. I can only applaud, like everybody else, your journey so far, what you have been through. It takes craft, and that's God has blessed you with.
Amen.
I sat here, I listened to you, just like Wendy said, when she heard you sing this song, I went to YouTube to look for you.
Wow.
And that was the song that came up. And I'm thinking, he's not the singer for this, but he's singing it damn good. I had was to listen. I had was to listen. And it's amazing the way you do it, because there's several cover version, as you yourself said. We know it too, but you stand out on that one.
Thank you.
You stand out at one. There's a song that you also sing that I want to know why you sing that song, or maybe were you feel meeting somebody new? I don't know if it's their last song, "Baby I Love You." You want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, "Baby I Love You."
Yeah.
But the oh my God, so many. "Baby I Love You." That one. That song. Why did I you know what? That song was actually, who produced that song first? It was Jack Rubin that produced that song, actually. When I got to the studio, what it was a thing, because that song, I wrote that song, if I remember rightly, I was age 16, 17 when I wrote that song. And I never had the opportunity to record it. And it was a thing where I was given the rhythm. I didn't really want to kind of like, I didn't have the time to write. So I said, let me just see if I could kind of fit some kind of rhythm. And it worked. I just, I revamped it a bit by, dissecting it a little bit, because sometimes I had a habit of writing songs. I write 2 songs in one song. But that song was actually based on somebody that I really liked at the time. And that was what the song's about.
Yeah, it's a nice song too. It's also a nice song.
Thank you.
I can only applaud you again, and a word of encouragement: keep on doing what you're doing. You're on the right road. Don't let anything turn you astray. Just continue on your path.
I will do. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
You too, Queen. Thank you.
What a way, everybody. I motivate and inspire Webster. Lord have mercy. What a
General,
thing.
the young man is to be inspired.
Of course.
He has inspired us to inspire him.
Yes.
That is it. He inspired us to inspire him. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why he's here, because, and that's what Sharon and I just want to come to what Sharon and I have spoken about. And one of the things that, us continuing to do these podcasts, for me, if it doesn't make sense, it's time to just end it. For me, it's not about playing music. It's about how we can be a point of change and difference in the world that we're living in. And it is apparent to both of us that, we all need each other at some point. The suicide rate that goes on in the UK, especially in the UK, forget about Jamaica and the rest of the world, that's on whole nother level, but it's on a high, amongst young people and some of the elderly as well, is on a high, a rocket high. So I truly believe that we are the change that we need to see. And I believe that collectively, if we come together and we believe in the same ideals and believe in changing the world, and if we believe in seeing a world which is full of love and care, like how I remember, and I shouldn't go back in time, but I have to, if I had a time machine, I'll go back to the 70s. For me, 70s was a time when family was together, when family sat at the same table, when friends had each other's back. We couldn't go to the park unless we had an army behind us. That's what I remember. If I said, Dad, can I go to the park? He says, who's going with you? I said, just me, myself, and I. He goes, no, you can't go. Okay, Peter, Paul, and John's coming. All right, no problem. You can go to the park. And we had each other's back. If you jump one, you jump all of us. And we need to have that back, you know what I mean? We need that idea back in our cranium that that if one of us is having problems, it's our duty. I truly believe it's our duty. It's Jenny's duty, it's Paul Etarda's duty, Rankin Ann's duty to see that we all survive this harsh life where the powers to be don't want us to survive. And that's a whole new different topic in itself. So I believe that everybody here is on the same wavelength. I believe that if we all stick together, we all can make it. Jenny J, she's got her thumbs up. I don't know if she wants to say something. Jenny J, you want to say something?
For me, it's really cool, but as of lately, it's about I've been seeing like a lot of like the younger artists linking up and giving a lot of advice to each other. Like for example, there's another artist called L.A. Gray. He's a mate of mine. But me and him got really close sometime this year when I went to one of his performances, and that man, like, what a voice! I mean, that song. I don't know if you heard the song that he sang, "Who Knows," which was written by him. He's a fantastic vocalist, and it's good to kind of have people like him. I can kind of and all the other girls like Shai Makeda, and because they're fantastic artists, Imani Brown, and also Dennis Brown's daughter Marla Brown. They're all fantastic artists, and I just I feel that if we all come together in the business, rather than kind of being cliquey, because there's a lot of cliques. I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of clique in the reggae thing over here, and I realize if you're not part of the clique, you don't think a certain way, you're not really same one, if that makes sense. But with me, I'm myself, and I'm always gonna be me, at the end of the day. But I just feel like we should all stick together in the business, and help bring each other up, rather than kind of And
one of the things that I do want to say before we end the show it is very important to always stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that can bring you down is nobody but you yourself.
Amen.
Once you give up on yourself, that's it. Game over.
Mm-hmm.
But once you believe in yourself and you fight against the resistance and you start making it, you'll be surprised to see who will be knocking at your door, asking for your help.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be brave enough to get to the end of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe you have it in you to get there. It's not everything you have to rise up to and say, hey, where you, sir? Sometimes you just have to focus on where you're trying to get to and how you can inspire the next generation behind you.
Mm-hmm.
For everything I do in my life today, I'm doing it because I want to see the next generation behind me. I want to see my daughter do well. So it's important that I put great energy into the world so that she has something to go by. Because I believe if I put great energy into the world, she's going to receive that great energy.
I agree.
So if you want to see good change, you have to be the change that you want to see. I truly believe that. If your heart is full of hate, oh, Jesus Christ, it's going to follow you to the end of your days.
Mm-hmm.
But if your heart is full of love,
Mm-hmm.
you watch yourself rise. Ain't nobody can bring you down but God. Until God says your time is up,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to keep on going.
That's right.
So on that point, I just want to say to everybody who dare so, SPRB Radio Podcast believes in everyone. We believe that if we want to see change, we have to be the change that we want to see. We want to see a change, a world full of love. Part of our podcast group is Sharon Bentley Pike. As you can see in our chat room, we have Rankin Ann. She's part of our podcast team. We have Beverly Note. She's part of our podcast team. And we all have the same ideas and the same values. We believe in everyone. We want to see change. And we believe in ourselves to put it out there to the rest of the world to see the change. I used to say to myself, you know what? If I could revive anyone, I think it would be Malcolm X, because he was a real fighter. And Martin Luther King. And who else would I bring back? I will bring back Nelson Mandela because he was a real fighter. But then I said to myself, they wouldn't even come back anyway. Because before Nelson Mandela left the earth, he says, I am passing the baton to you, the world, to see the change that you wish to see. And it dawned on me that we are the change we need to see, So if somebody has something to say or, somebody needs a listening ear, Sharon Mango or 10-Star General or any one of us will give you that listening ear. Sometimes we don't have to say anything. We just have to listen. What am I saying that is out of line, Sharon Mango, before we end?
Nothing.
We play a Webster tune.
Yeah, well, let me say this. I would like to know from Webster. Was this interview everything you expected or more?
It was more because I mean, like I said, it was very insightful and very overwhelming. That the positive feedback I've been getting. Thank you guys so much. I got emotional, as you can see. I mean, no one sees me cry. No one. So yeah. Thank you guys. I'd like to say thank you for having me, 10-Star, and thank you, Sharon, and thank you to everybody that joined in. It's a pleasure. And the feedback, the positive comments, and the advice. As I said, I'm very teachable, and I like to listen, and I will always take on positive feedback and whatnot have you. So thank you guys so much, and yeah, that's
Webster, what a thing! You're there, so what a thing! We had the great
Paulette Tarja
of all people. Paulette Tarja. Oh, Jesus Christ. I need my breathing pump.
Hey, that's an OG right there, man. She's an OG, man. I love Paulette.
Beautiful OG. Like,
Queen.
ageless.
And Webster, anything you would like to say to anybody before we leave and end the show? Now is your time to say so.
So, as I said, yes, basically, I said thank you, each and everyone, and I pray that you guys have a fantastic week ahead, and stay blessed and keep the fire burning. Well, that Taja, specifically for you, more music, and more voice. I can't get enough of it. I just, I can listen to her all day.
Yeah.
So, Paulette, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. But you know, Sharon, thank you so much. Lovely pleasure meeting you.
Yes.
And Miss Bentley Park, thank you so much. DJ Spider, you're done now. DJ Maestro, big up Jenny J, Wendy Lowe's. Wendy, big up yourself. You're done now. Yeah.
So Massive and crew, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to end the show. Next week will be the last show for a week because, you know, we need time out. You know, since 2020, since we've been doing these shows, it's just been one show after the other. And it's just been very, very tasking. And we value everyone. So follow Sharon Mango on Sharon Mango, her page. You can follow me on 10-Star Nehemiah General on Instagram. To catch up on what's going to be happening. I can tell you for sure we have some miraculous artists who's going to be coming on. You'll be gobsmacked. And how it happened, it could only be God to make these shows happen, but they are going to be happening. So continue to join us here. We're going to be here next week, Saturday and Sunday. I think for those who are in America, the times are changing next week, right?
Yeah.
So 12 noon on Saturday next week.
Yes.
And then you're going back to 11 o'clock on Sunday. AM, that is, right?
Yes, AM.
Okay,
Yep.
There you go. So thank you to everyone who joined us today. We can't end the show without playing two Webster tunes. That's true. Webster.
Exactly. Drop two tunes in the Webster. Yes, man.
Let's have a word from the man himself.
Yes.
Bang! Never soul from a tribe of a shaka soul Ethiopia, Africa, when I laugh, when I linger, when I play in that time, you say it. Original Raising Awareness show, we are talking about 10-Star General, Yaman, Sharon, Mango. Bang, bang, turbulence to the future. What do you mean what I King Selassie? Rastafari, keep it accurate and royal.
Who that? Webster.
Na 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 na. Oh yeah. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind.
We love.
Pull it up again, pull it up again, pull it up again. Webster.
For real.
Na 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 na. Oh yeah. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it home to me, yeah. So I'm glad when you leave.
I will stay on.
Now I know I only hurt myself. Whoa, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it home to me, yeah.
Greetings, one and all. This is Lloyd Brown, and you're in tune to SPRB Radio, the station with integrity. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to the team. See? So SPRB Radio, I beg you, kick it to it. Let's go. One more by Webster before we get out of here. His latest release called Sound Boy. Sound System Boy, right?
Sound system boy, you never knew I was a system boy. Sound system boy, you never knew I was a system boy. Sound system boy, you never knew I was a system boy. Sound system boy, you never knew I was a system boy. When I was a little boy, sound system was my world. Everybody used to feel alright. Back in the days when dance did night, we used to play sweet rubber dub style. The sound system was booming in the place. Oh gosh, sound system,
Well, that's all, folks. That's my line. Step aside, babe. Let a star do this. That's our line. That's all, folks.
Can I go home now? I'm 10-Star General from Stockhead Promotions, and I'm out of here.
Oh my word! What an interview! That was very good, very good. Well done. Oh, I learned a lot of things about you today, but well done, Webster. I'm so glad you allowed me to join you on that Zoom. But yeah, it was very good. You come across professional, down to earth, a natural, not high on your big horses, but you told it as it was. That's Webster. That is Webster. I've only known you for a little while, but I feel like I've known you forever. 27. You're only 27. Oh my God. You're so mature. I could never do all that when I was 27. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And enjoy the rest of your evening. I beg and cook my child some dinner. Child? She's 29. All right. Love you. Love you. Love you. And look forward to seeing you again. All right. Take care.